Hello dear athletes and coaches. I am your clinical sports psychologist Joyson. One of the main challenges athletes face during their performance is the difficulty with motivation. Either the players will be less motivated or they are not having the sufficient motivation for showcasing their real talent during the play time. It might be because of various factors. It might be because of the lack of role clarity or the conflicts that they might have between other players, or because of some other sort of negative thinking that might be happening in their mind. There are multifarious factors that acting upon on a player for making their motivation level less than ideal what they actually needed. So let us try to see how to improve the athlete's confidence so that they can showcase their best performance throughout the match. So let us rightly dive into the topic. Before that, if you are new to our channel, do subscribe us so that in future also you can get productive and informative sports psychology related as well as performance psychology related content through our channel. For having the right level of motivation as a team altogether, the players should have a good team spirit. So let us see how we could able to enhance the team spirits of each players so that they can genuinely and dedicatedly contribute towards the performance of the team. So for having the right team spirit, the right level of team spirit, the players should be comfortable in their role. Whatever the role in which they are assigned, either it be goalkeeper, forward player, defensive player, attacker, midfielder, whatever the position one player is assigned, he or she should be comfortable and ready to ace on that role. Besides, they should also have high commitment towards their role. They should be completely involved and give their complete to their role. They should not have any doubt or negation towards their role. The commitment has to be at highest level for them to have the right attitude and team spirit towards their team. In a team, the players might have different sort of roles. The roles can be formal roles, informal roles. Formal roles matlab there might be a captain, a assistant captain, and sort of a player who is a goalkeeper, who is a forward player. Like there will be different formal roles that are assigned by the captain and the management authority as well as the coach of the team. So there is formal roles as well as there is informal roles like one travel manager and team clown, team fun maker, that sort of a funny and casual roles, that is informal roles will be there. Both roles has to be there in a proper way for a team to have a cohesion, because playing is not only about the seriousness, it should be coupled with fun, enjoyment. If you could not able to enjoy a game by only being so serious and so focused on only formal roles, it won't be working for a long term. So there should be fun element, there should be enjoyment element. For that, the informal roles will be helping for a team. So that has to be a part of every team and it should be acceptable for its team members. They should be happy about that. They should not have any negative perception, or they should not have a negative attitude towards whatever the roles, even if it is kind of a funny or mocking sort of a role that been assigned by other players towards them. Whatever through motivation, we are looking for the effectiveness of one team altogether. So let us try to know how to increase those effectiveness of a team by kind of having some conditions. The scientific studies has put forward 3 particular conditions for a team to be successful and effective towards their performance on a match. Let us see what they are. The first one is role clarity. Every player should have a clarity towards their role. They should know what they are supposed to do. They should know to which player they are supposed to give their pass. They should know on which time they should showcase their talent. They should know how to communicate with another player who is senior. So the role clarity and the kind of way in which they use the strategies during a match all should be very much delineated and clear for each individual player. Then only the role clarity at its highest sense will happen, and then only the players can put forward their maximum performance. The second point is role acceptance. Every player should have complete awareness about what the team is expecting from them, what they are supposed to do, how they should act in a particular circumstance. That should be clear for each individual player. Okay. So the third point is role performance. In a team, most of the players or each individual player will be assigned with one particular role. Like one player will be playing in the goalie side, the other player will be playing on the forward side, and one on the backward side and midfielder, so on and so forth. So in this sort of a condition, one player might not be aware the challenges of another player, and this may make them being judgmental towards other player. So how to tackle this? This can be tackled by shifting of roles between players. Each player can be given an opportunity to try out the roles of other players, like the goalkeeper kind of trying out the role of a forward player and the forward player trying out the role of a midfielder, so on and so forth. So this will help them to understand the challenges of the other players, and this will help them to empathize more with the other players' difficulties and challenges. It will increase their connections and cohesion of the team altogether. So try this out during the match practice times, and one thing has to be noted down is it has to be in a safe environment. The players should not be at advantage of having any injuries by having this shift of roles, but they should be allowed to shift the role. Then only they could be able to understand the challenges of other players. One of the main factors that demotivate a player during a match is putting them onto substitution or making them benched. This is a very difficult condition for any individual player. But the player should have a understanding in their mind that whenever they go on the ladder up and up on a pedestal to the higher degrees of game, the chances of failure are much higher. The difficulty level of match quite increasing. The game that you playing on a national level is quite different from a school age. So there are higher chances for the players to be benched on the side. So the player should have an accepting stance towards that, and they should have a positive outlook towards that. Every player gets benched. It's part of the game. Every player cannot always play all. This is a basic understanding, na? So the player should have an open mindset towards that. When difficulty levels are increasing, there is higher chance for them to fail, higher chance for their performance to drop, so that sometimes they will be benched, even if you are one of the best players of your team too. So what is the reason for decreasing success when you are competing with bigger and better teams? Because you are competing with the best. So when you are competing with the best, there is higher chance for you to have less success. So this should be in your mind when you are playing in a higher levels. So it's okay to fail, but because you are competing with the best. One of the main reasons the athletes are feeling demotivated is because lack of confidence. The players does not have belief in themselves. That means they have very less self-efficacy. So if you does not have the belief that you could able to carry out one particular skill and you could able to put the ball on the goal post, then you does not have the confidence. If you does not believe in your abilities, you does not have the right level of self-confidence. You are not believing in your efficacy. So in that sort of a time, it's very difficult to have the right level of motivation. So for increasing your motivation level, one thing you can do is increase your self-confidence. For that, there are different techniques we have been already discussed on our previous sessions of self-confidence. One thing you can do is, again we are just giving a small recap, you can try changing your negative self-talk to positive self-talk. After that, you can try to make a list of your weaknesses as well as strengths. Focus on your strengths. Try to improve upon your weaknesses. have a discussion with coach, have a discussion with other players, how to mitigate or how to manage your weaknesses. So when you getting an idea about improving your weaknesses, then you will have a positive attitude towards your game, so that you will become more confident. So when your confidence level goes up by these sort of exercises, your motivations level also increases. The motivation and confidence will go in hand. The another thing one should pay attention to improving your confidence is understanding what are the things you could able to control and the things you cannot have a control. You have to accept whatever things that you cannot control. By kind of ruminating or crying around those things which you does not have a control does not make any sense. It does not make you go anywhere forward. So accept that some things are not under your control. The rain on the day, the turf that you are going to play, the availability of resources to an extent are not in your control. So let it slide. Focus on what you have control and accept that there are some things that out of control, and it's okay to have that, but we will do with what we have. Then don't feel sorry about whatever you have done. Whatever done, is disposed. Nothing can be done on that. Now focus on the present. That's the best time you have, and on the future too. Whatever you do present will of course going to influence your future. So don't be sorry about what you have done previously. Just be okay with that. Just accept it and move ahead to a glorious victory. Whenever the training sessions happens, or even when the main important matches happen, the coaches might be saying or giving you some scolding, and he might take some decisions that may even pain you. Yeah, it's difficult, no doubt. Some of coaches' decisions are difficult for players, but what can be done? Just accept it. He is the authority in a team, so just accept whatever the decisions taken by the coach and believe it, it might be for your welfare. And try to give your best. Don't have a pessimistic or sorry attitudes on whatever things happened. When you go in on focusing on the positives, then the things will slowly turn around in favor to you. And whatever the decisions the coach is taking, don't take it personally. You are playing the game for enjoyment. You are finding fun on the playground. So enjoy the game. You can remember your past, the day which you first started with this particular game. Why? Because you liked it. You enjoyed being on the ground. You enjoyed being the fun that you could able to have during the gameplay. So give a thought for that. What's the actual reason you are into this sport? You are into this game. It is, of course, we are living one life. If it is not filled with enjoyment, fun, then what's the meaning? So have fun. Focus on the fun that you can have on the game. Enjoy it rather than feeling sorry and so pessimistic and down with whatever happened. Just enjoy the process. Yeah, there are chances for the coaches to have decisions that might affect you negatively. Yeah, I can understand. But communicate with your coach. Have an open communication. What you had felt when the coach made that decision, and communicate it with him. He might have some points to tell to you that it might be the reason. It might be enlightening for you too, that you might not have known that perspective of the coach. So have an open communication with him. There are a lot of things for you to learn from a coach and his perspective, his vision. So that will help you to accept his decision more happily and positively. Dear, since you are already selected on this team, you are on the playing 11, or if not on the playing 11, you are at least on the playing or on the squad. There might be some reason you are on the team. If you are such a player who does not know even to play, then you won't be on the team. It's such a team. So you are on the team, it's because you are valued. You have worth. There are number of players who haven't had the opportunity to be part of your team. If you are having that opportunity, understand that you are a valued member. You are worthy of being that team, and be happy and positive about that. So athletes, for having the right level of motivation, proper goal is needed. If you are not having a goal, you will be so unfocused. You will be so doubtful where to go. I will give you an example. Suppose you are on a ship and the ship does not have a destination place. It does not have a goal. So what will happen? The ship will go to this place, this place, this place, here and there. No progress, going nowhere. And what will happen? It will expire itself with its fuel, its commodity to eat, and the sailors gets tired. So it's very pertinent that a team should have a goal. Whenever a match session happens, there should be particular goals for the team, that this should be we are doing at this particular time. Till this sort of a time we should have progress to this much. We should ace that match so that we could able to move forward for higher level of tournaments. So that sort of a goals should be there, and having this goal help you to keep track of your progress and move forward to your aim. So always try to have a clear-cut goal. And there is very important concept when it comes to goal setting, that is called as SMART, that you can simply Google and understand what SMART stand for. Yeah, and this is a small homework for you guys. Let's see how you are going to do it, and let me know what SMART means in the comment section. I will be keen to hear it from you, by the way.